Welcome to Book Lovers Unite. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of parenting's greatest mysteries, the teenager. If you've ever felt like your sweet, cuddly kid was abducted by aliens and replaced with a moody stranger who communicates only in grunts, well, this explainer is for you. I mean, you know the feeling, right? One day they're holding your hand in the grocery store, and the next, a hug in public is basically grounds for a restraining order. It leaves you standing there thinking, what on earth did I do wrong? Well, here's the good news, and I want you to really hear this. You haven't done anything wrong. The rules of the game have just completely changed, and nobody handed you the new manual. So consider this explainer, based on Dr. Gary Chapman's incredible book, your new manual. And hey, before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you find this kind of content helpful, just take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really does help us grow our community here and get this info out to other parents who are trying to crack the same code. Okay, first things first, we need to get our heads around a core concept from Dr. Chapman, and that is the love tank. And more specifically, why it feels like your teenager's love tank has a giant hole in the bottom. So, what is the love tank? Think of it like an emotional gas tank. When it's full, we feel secure, we feel confident, we feel loved. But when it's running on empty, well, everything is harder. It's a pretty simple idea, right? But for a teenager, keeping it full gets complicated. You see, a teenager's tank is being drained constantly. Their entire world is upside down. They're battling a huge identity crisis, asking themselves, who am I and where do I fit in 100 times a day? Their brains are literally being rewired, and you've got this storm of hormonal changes that makes every single emotion feel 10 times more intense. Then pile on academic stress and constant peer pressure, and yeah, that emotional fuel just burns right up. And this is why this is so critical. An empty tank isn't just about a bad mood. It can lead to some really serious stuff. Anger, rebellion, and looking for love and acceptance in all the wrong places. But a full tank gives them emotional security. It anchors their self-worth. It acts like a shield against peer pressure. Keeping that tank full isn't just a nice thing to do, it's a genuine safety measure. So the big question is, how do we keep their tanks full? Well, this is where Dr. Chapman's 5 love languages come into play. But, and this is a huge but, the way you spoke these languages to your little kid needs a major translation for your teenager. Let's start with the one that probably changes the most. Physical touch. Remember when your 5-year-old would climb all over you like a jungle gym? Yeah, don't try that with your 15-year-old. The entire game has changed. Public displays of affection are out. Now you have to think in terms of what I call drive-by touch. A quick, casual fist bump, a gentle squeeze on the shoulder as you walk past them, maybe a brief hug in the privacy of the kitchen. They still need it, desperately. But now, the timing and the location are everything. Next up, words of affirmation. And you'll notice on the slide we've got BS detector, because teenagers have the most finely tuned baloney detectors on the planet. Generic praise like, you're such a good kid, is just going to get you an eye roll. They know they're not always a good kid. The secret is to shift from praising the outcome to affirming their character. So instead of, wow, great job on that A, try saying, I was so impressed by the discipline you showed studying for that test. You're praising the effort, the grit, not just the grade. That's what lands. Oh, quality time. This gets so tricky. See, with teens, proximity isn't connection. Just sitting in the same room while you're both staring at your phones doesn't fill anyone's tank. The secret is to move from forced face-to-face conversations to casual side-by-side activities. Just go for a drive, shoot some hoops. Heck, sit and watch them play their favorite video game for 15 minutes. It's about entering their world. You don't have to love what they're doing, you just have to love them. Okay, acts of service. Oof, this one can be a real trap. Because if you're doing everything for them but you have a bitter, resentful attitude about it, it doesn't feel like love. It feels like a guilt trip. Dr. Chapman calls this the difference between service and slavery. The key is to offer service as a voluntary gift, not a resentful obligation. Think about it. Making them a special snack during a super stressful finals week says, I see you and I care, way more than 100 chores you did while sighing loudly. And number 5, receiving gifts. Now, this is not about buying your kids love with expensive stuff. Not at all. For a teen whose language is gifts, the meaning is all in the message. And the message is, you were heard. If they mentioned some obscure band they like a month ago and you surprise them with a $5 sticker from that band, boom, tank filled. It's about the thoughtfulness. It proves you're listening. Okay, so now that we have the new translations, let's apply them to the two biggest battlegrounds of the teenage years, their explosive anger and their fierce, powerful drive for independence. This quote from Dr. Chapman is so powerful because it goes against every single one of our instincts as parents. Our gut reaction is to meet anger with anger, to shut it down. But the most powerful tool we actually have is just to listen. So when your teen comes at you hot and yelling, don't yell back. I know it's hard, but try this instead. First, just listen. Second, acknowledge their perspective. And third, this is the magic key, validate their emotion, not their behavior, but the feeling behind it. Saying, I can see you are absolutely furious about this doesn't mean you agree with them. It just means you hear them. When they feel heard, the anger starts to de-escalate. When you argue, it just goes up and this all connects back to our ultimate goal, right? Which is to raise an independent adult. Here's the paradox. A teen who feels unconditionally loved and secure at home doesn't have to fight you so hard for their freedom. They feel safe enough to go explore the world because they know they have a secure base to come back to. A full love tank is the launch pad for their independence. So what does all of this mean for you, for your role? It means your job description has officially changed. You're no longer the controller. You are now a guide. And if you take away only one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Your teen isn't broken. They don't need to be fixed. They are growing and changing exactly as they're supposed to. The goal isn't to change them. The goal is for us to adapt our approach, to be humble enough to learn their new language and to love them right where they are. If this explainer gave you even one new tool for your parenting toolbox, please help our community grow. Go ahead and like this, subscribe to Book Lovers Unite, and maybe share this with another parent who you know needs to hear this today. And I want to leave you with this question to think about. Which of these 5 love languages do you find is the absolute hardest to speak to your teen? Is it physical touch because they flinch away? Is it quality time because you can never pin them down? Share your experience in the comments below. Let's learn from each other because we are all in this together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.